Hi, it's Kirby Sommers. Today is Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Middle of June, everyone. I frankly can't get over how quickly it's just flying by. Or maybe it's just me. Photos of Virginia Roberts Giuffre and former President Al Gore, well, they were going to be made public. And we're going to talk about this today and a little bit more. My podcast is brought to you courtesy of my followers, the people who are members of my newsletter on Substack, those of you who purchase one or more of my books or who have become patrons on my Patreon, and others who donate here via a super thanks or make a one-time or recurring contribution via my website. And I want to thank you for that. As you can hear from my voice, I'm just perpetually tired at this point because Virginia is not here and she left some things left unsaid because she had very interesting attorneys, and I think you have become aware of that. But before I get started, I also want to acknowledge and thank those of you who take the time to subscribe, like, and share, and comment, as this too helps with the algorithm on my channel. So I uploaded new information yesterday on my Substack that was shared with me by Virginia, and sadly, which she had to take to the grave with her, because despite the fact that she was incredibly brave, she was also scared. I'm going to read to you a little bit of one of her early interviews, depositions. And so she was being questioned, and one of the questions was about the people and the people she had met through J.E. and Ghislaine. And so she responds, "No, not at this stage. Some of these people are really influential in power, and I don't want to start another S-storm with a few of them. I'll tell you that there were some erotic massages given to, I'm just afraid to say it to you." And then the person questioning was like, "Okay, Virginia." And then she goes like, "It's like, geez, I don't know if I want to. I'm really scared of where this is going to go." So while I'm not going to read my article to you, and frankly, I can't because I tried uploading some information to my ex earlier and it prevented me from doing so. In fact, I thought that I had, in fact, lost access to X, as I have done previously, when Elon Musk took my main Twitter away when he took over X. So I thought, okay, well, here we go again. I couldn't upload. And then I tried to upload a partial read of my newsletter yesterday about Bill and Hillary, Tipper, and Al. I wanted to upload information here and it would not allow me. Now we know that there is a cover up, the likes of which I think most people can't even wrap their minds around. And for what it's worth, I am neither a Republican nor a Democrat. I call it as it happens. I frankly, by the time I was 17, I knew that it was like, oh, no, no, no. I don't want any part of choosing for that president or choosing for this president. I want no part of that. And later, when I became ensnared into this slavery situation with one of these very powerful members of the elite, I realized, oh, I see how it's played. They basically run both sides. It's just it's a magician's trick, and I'll leave it there. So I say things about people from both parties. And I also say things about people from other countries. But whatever I say is about their wrongdoings and what they have done that they lie to the public about. So that, I just couldn't upload things here because clearly we are being kept from sharing the truth and nothing but the truth with you guys. However, I will read to you the image I used for this podcast, which is an old scrubbed article. It's not really not even that old, but it's almost impossible to find, and I don't know if many people even know it exists. But I'm going to read it. Former Vice President Al Gore was among the high-profile figures whose name was included in documents unsealed in a civil suit tied to J.E. Gore, who served under President Bill Clinton, was mentioned in a court document regarding materials that Ghislaine Maxwell sought from Epstein's longtime accuser, Virginia Giuffre, prior to trial in the civil defamation suit. So that would be from the suit that Ghislaine decided that she was going to settle in 2015. The document states Maxwell requested Giuffre turn over any photos or videos that she had showed her and a number of high-profile figures, including Gore. Now, some of you may remember that Virginia's private diary, which by the way wasn't the first private diary, she burned that. And then the private diary that is in the public sphere is a second one, which contains information that her attorneys wanted her to present in a certain light. And therefore, there's just some stuff that's not necessarily in sync with what the reality is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to read a little bit of the article I have on Substack, and I'm going to begin now. The 1969 movie Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice told the public it was okay to be a swinger. Swapping wives and having orgies wasn't just for the hippies. No, it included America's elite too, and the relatively fixed group of privileged people who dominate the economy and government, those who already had a vampirish grip on minors through an unbroken chain of child PDF rings, gleefully proceeded to R word and pillage because, after all, the laws really don't apply to them. And so I have a lot of information, and then I go into information that Virginia expressly shared with me privately, which, as I said, she took to the grave. However, another survivor attempted to come out with this information, and she was silenced by Alan Dershowitz, and again, terrified for her life. And then I was able to get a confirmation from a whistleblower, a CIA whistleblower who, while this person did not know Virginia, he did know very well Bill and Hillary Clinton and Tipper and Al Gore, and shared with me information that jived with information that Virginia gave me privately, which again is on my Substack. Links will be below. And by the way, for those of you who are not aware, I just published my newest book, which is all about Leslie Wexner and some really dark stuff. So I've titled that Merchant of Death. It is now available. Merchant of Death Part 1 is available. Links are included in the description box below. It has been one of my most read series on my newsletter. It's being released to the public slowly. I've got a little over 200 pages in Part 1. And people are lapping it up. The response I'm receiving from those of you who have ordered it, thank you for sending me these kind words. But yeah, this is information that, despite the fact that other people have been covering clearly the case that I cover as well, no one has shared the, let's say, demonic references that I do. And with that, I'm going to leave it here. Subscribe, like, share. Have a good Sunday. Till next time.